Yo, welcome back everybody. So today we're going to be talking about functions. So, what is a function and, how can we use it in C++? So I kind of just started off by creating a string and I just called it car name and I gave it a value of Lambo. So it's just Lambo. So for this example, let's create a function that prints out this car name. So functions just allow you to do things and kind of send it parameters. So the first part of a function is what you want to return or what you want the function to, output. So we're not going to return anything. So you just put void, but if you wanted to return a string or an integer, you can do it like that. So outside my main function, I'm just going to do void because we're not going to return anything. And let's just create it and let's call it print car. So it's going to be like this. Your parentheses and then your brackets. So inside of here, these are called parameters. So when you have a function, you can take some sort of input. So those are called parameters. So for this function, let's take a string and let's just call it the car. Okay, so it's just going to take in any string. And whenever we get that string, when we call the function, it's just going to be called the car. So it's just passing it. So this is passing by value, not by reference. So we'll talk about that in another video, but for now, just know it's going to be a copy of whatever that variable name is. So then let's just see out, let's console log the car. So now you may be wondering, how do we actually use this function? So basically it's just going to print out the car, right? So you're going to want to call it inside of your main function. So let's just do print car. And if we just do it like this, it's not going to work because print car actually requires a parameter since that's what we set up. So let's give it our car name. So now we've created a car name. We've called it Lambo. And now we made a function to print out the car, right? And we have just passed in the string. And now the parameter, we just called it the car. And we're just going to see that out. So let's see what happens. So now we are actually getting Lambo. So they're really important because you're going to be using functions all the time. So let's just create another one real quick and let's actually have it return something. So let's just say integer cash is equal to 100. So you have $100. Now let's return an integer and call it show balance. And let's take in an integer. Let's just call it your cash. And then let's just return. So functions can return things, which we didn't do void. So we're not returning nothing. We need an integer. So let's just return your cash. So then instead of print car, we can just say, hey, show my balance. And then the balance you're going to be sending in is your actual cash that you have on hand. So now let's see what happens. See if we can actually get our cash. So we are returning it, but we actually want to see this out. So let's see out our balance. So we could print it out here or something, but for now, we're just going to see out what our actual return is. So it's going to be an integer. So it's 100. So now let's say we want to give ourselves 150. Here we go. 1,500 bucks. Now let's see if we can actually print out 1,500. There you go. So 1,500. So now we're actually returning, some sort of value, which is an integer. So functions can get really advanced, and you can pretty much go really in depth with them. But for these tutorials that I'm doing, I'm just kind of keeping it basic. So if you're curious on you're new and you're just trying to understand the really simple version of how to actually do things, I think this will be helpful. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Full stack out.